Todd Walker with you, Doug Jenkins, Mike Miller here as well. Our picks segment also will be on the website in the form of a video download at 1150wima.com. Just go to the high school football page, and we start predictions first of all with an update again from the accounting firm of Dewey, Screw'em and Howe. Jenkins, what's the tally?
All right, I wasted a lot of time this morning.
Good.
Going back, combing through the videos of the last 6 weeks of picks, and through 6 weeks, it's basically a race for second place. All right, that might be a little bit of a exaggeration. Todd and Mike both at 22-9 on their picks of the season. I've got them by 3 games right now at 25-6. Really, it was the first few weeks of the season when we were trying to figure out who was going to be good and whatnot where I built my lead.
Right.
And we've been pretty well step for step the rest of the way.
No question.
Keeping in mind, though, I've had to deal with the first half of the season, a pregnant wife, and now a new baby at home. You guys should be beating me because I'm getting no sleep.
Right.
Well, just to even it up, why don't you tie one hand behind your back here?
All right, left hands.
You and Rush have your brain tied behind your back just to make it fair. All right, on to this week's picks. Let's begin with our broadcast game tonight. Shawnee at Defiance. The Indians holding out hope that they can run the table, get some help, make the playoffs. Defiance still with a chance to win the WBL. Mike, you've seen Defiance. You've seen Shawnee. What do you think?
Actually, I haven't seen Shawnee.
You have not seen Shawnee.
But it's clear that they belong in the upper tier of the Western Buckeye League. And what's interesting is how this will really serve to clash the strengths of both of these teams. Shawnee is a powerhouse run-stuffing defense with all their big linebackers and their very talented linemen. But Defiance is an incredibly strong running team with a lot of different weapons, 6, 8, 7 guys who can run the ball at any given moment. This one is almost too close to call, but I have to make a call. I'm just going to go for the home field and better quarterback play over the course of the season. I'm going to pick Defiance in a close game.
I'm with Mike on that one. Everything he said on top of the fact that don't discount Defiance's passing game. They're not going to go downfield and vertical on you, but they will beat you to death with the screen, hit you in the flat, things like that, which keeps you honest defensively. So let's be quite honest. That's a big deal tonight. And again, Shawnee with the issues at quarterback. Again, a very good team, a hard-hitting game, but I think Defiance runs the ball just a little bit harder.
All right, time to make up some ground here. I'm picking Shawnee. It's going to be a hard-fought close game, I think, almost by default. But you mentioned quarterback play, Mike. I think that's the difference for Shawnee. Seth Rosenbauer has settled in now.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think either one of these teams are going to be confused with Eric Coryell here.
Nope.
But I think Shawnee now has the ability to hit a big pass here and there, and that's going to make their running attack even better.
Frankly, I'm envious, Todd. You got the best game around tonight, I think.
Yeah, I do think that as well. And Shawnee's defense is very, very stout against the run. I think this is going to be a clash of strengths. Personally, I think Shawnee's defense is up to the challenge. I'll take the Indians tonight to keep their faint playoff hopes alive. Also, Western Buckeye League. Doug, you've got this game. Ottawa Glandorf hosting St. Mary's. We know you're picking the Titans. Step aside. Mike, Rough Riders, Titans. Who you got?
I'm also going to have to pick the Titans, but again, I see a pretty close game. I'm just not certain that St. Mary's can come from behind. I think the Titans have too many weapons offensively. The Riders, all they're going to do is pound you on the ground. Plus, I think OG has a slightly better defensive team than St. Mary's. You add it all up, and plus we're up in Putnam County with that one. I like OG.
Yeah, I got to see OG last week for the first time, and personally I was not all that impressed with their offense. I think Nathan Colley struggles at quarterback, and I think that could hurt them as far as any playoff chances later. But I don't think St. Mary's is any great passing attack either. But I like OG's defense. I think OG's defense is very good, and if St. Mary's tries to throw the ball, I am pretty confident they'll have no success. I'm taking OG because of their defense.
Who wants some inside information?
We want dope.
You want the dope. Here's the deal. OG banged up after that game against Elida. Brian Lobenthal is out. Brian Lobenthal has 6 interceptions, 3 returned for touchdowns this year. And I don't usually do math in my head, but that's 50% right there.
Yeah.
He's out. Got injured. Remember, Todd, on that first play on the kick return in the second half. He's out tonight. Now, St. Mary's isn't going to the air that much, so do you miss your star DB that much? Maybe not tonight, but also Craig Greenman, the fullback, may not be playing tonight for the Titans. I still pick OG to win, but I think it's going to be a very close game. Logan Kaufman will play fullback, and certainly if you have to plug in a new fullback, Logan Kaufman is a good replacement. But you don't have that depth, and in a game like tonight where you're pounding on each other, you want to have that depth.
Excellent point. And Logan Kaufman, is he more valuable as a middle linebacker than a running back? If he's forced to go that many more totes running the ball tonight, could change his effectiveness defensively, and that's where the real pressure is to stop the Riders. So that's interesting information. I'm sticking with OG.
Well, I'll stay with OG, but I'll tell you this. It could really hurt him if St. Mary's is even or ahead fourth quarter, and that depth factor starts to come into play. That could
that's key
tilt things toward the Riders.
I didn't want to give you guys that heads up till we made our picks. You know?
Nice. Way to go. How about Elida Bath, guys? Nothing on the line but pride. I see this as a blowout. I think Bath is coming apart at the seams again. They've got dissension. They've got apparently a mother who thinks her kid is a college star already, even though he only plays half the time because he's always hurt. I'm taking Elida. I was impressed with them last week. They've got intestinal fortitude, toughness, and Bath doesn't. I'm taking the Bulldogs.
Oh, that's Elida. So long as they don't take their eye off the ball and think, thank God we're through the buzzsaw of the schedule, let's go get some victories. If they go out and play with the same intensity that I saw them play against Ottawa Glandorf last week, no question, Elida wins tonight.
I think they will because they're hungry for that second win, Mike.
They need to confirm everything we've been saying. I think they probably will. We mentioned a couple of those razor-thin margins they lost a little bit earlier. I think they're a much better team than their 1-5 record, and tonight will prove it.
I think it could be a blowout tonight in favor of Elida. Jefferson at Grove, Northwest Conference, big game tonight. I think the Bulldogs have figured it out. They're at home. They're always tough there. And that win last week, big confidence builder. I'll take the Bulldogs.
I will take Jefferson just to differentiate with you a little bit. I think Jefferson's defense may be enough. I think it's a close game, but I think their defense may be enough to keep the Bulldogs in check. I know that it's been a big step forward for Grove since they played LCC, obviously with a big upset win. But when I saw them play LCC, when they play a stout defense, it was a rough road to hoe for them. And I think they're going to see another, not as stout as LCC's defense, but Jefferson's D certainly can play some ball.
All right, you're wrong. The magic is back at Clymer Stadium. The Bulldogs are rolling downhill, and they're going to roll right through Delphus Jefferson to another impressive victory.
How about LCC hosting Bishop Reedy? I know we don't know a lot about Reedy, but my pretty confident pick tonight is LCC. I think they are really solid. I think Reedy plays somewhat a watered-down schedule, and LCC last year should have beaten them physically, were the aggressor and the stronger team. I'll take the T-Birds.
Yeah, I don't think Columbus football's all that great. And Columbus Grove proved it last week when they slammed down Bishop Hartley.
Yep.
T-Birds are going to make the Northwest Conference the scourge of Central Ohio.
There you go.
And they're going to slam down Bishop Reedy tonight. I think the Birds are, even at this point, still maybe slightly underrated.
Doug?
I think that Mike's right on that, and I'll take LCC. And I didn't really have the chance to talk about this being out the week after the LCC Grove game. Ty O'Connell, he is the real deal. That kid can throw, and probably is throwing the best ball I've seen this year. I saw him the night after I saw Matty Mock at Kenton, and I got to tell you, I think they're the same caliber quarterback. And remember, O'Connell's not playing in the same system. It's not built around him to throw it all the time. He still throws an excellent ball. He's going to be a good one.
Let's move on. Last pick, guys, St. Henry at Coldwater. I'm taking the Cavaliers. I think when you look at common opponents, Coldwater's beaten that team that St. Henry lost to. I think Coldwater is at home, putting things together. I'll take the Cavs.
To be the man, you got to beat the man.
Yeah, 12 in a row.
That's right.
They're going to make it 13.
Coldwater, definitely.
Mike?
Not so fast, gentlemen. Jeff Starkey and the Redskins, they really have all the pieces. I mean, they're a really good football team. All they haven't been able to do is consistently score, even though their running back has like 8 or 9 touchdowns, but a lot of those may have been against some of the weaker opponents. I think tonight for St. Henry, it is one of those rare occasions where they pull an upset in the series. It's hard to pull an upset when you're 5-1 in your state rank. I'm just going to take St. Henry just to pull closer to you guys in our overall standings. So go get them, Redskins.
Yeah, good luck with that, Mike. That's all the time we have for our roundtable segment. When we come back, we'll talk with some area coaches. We'll talk with Gary Spencer from Wadesfield, Jerry Cooper of LCC, and Scott Paldy of Columbus Grove. That's all straight ahead on 1150 WIMA.